The news starts now. AM 1240 and 95.3 FM. WJON.
Good morning. I'm Jim Maurice. It's 9:05 and we're at 68 right now. Your WJON weather eye forecast coming up in a few minutes after the news. News this hour brought to you by Zablocki Roofing. Central Minnesota got some heavy rain overnight. The National Weather Service says St. Cloud officially had 1.75 inches of rain from yesterday afternoon through early this morning. We're now more than 5 inches above normal for precipitation since the first of the year. A portion of Kandiyohi County was in a flood warning because of excessive rainfall. Communities like Wilmer, New London, Spicer had possibly some flooding overnight. Another round of strong to severe thunderstorms with heavy rain possible tomorrow afternoon. Many communities here in central Minnesota reporting over 3 inches of rain. Clarissa had over 5.5 inches of rain during the overnight. With both state major party conventions now behind us, the political focus shifts to the upcoming Republican National Convention in mid-July in Milwaukee and the Democratic National Convention in Chicago a month later.
One persistent question, will Minnesota move into the category of swing states, particularly with possibly some extra attention from former President Donald Trump?
I thought we won it in 2016. I know we won it in 2020.
Even if it's not really in play, Trump's going to still try to make it in play.
Says Hamline University's David Schultz. But Carleton College analyst Stephen Scheer points out Minnesota Republicans endorsed U.S. Senate candidate
Royce White may be at the top of the ticket, a problematic candidate, and now the presidential candidate has been convicted of a felony.
Bill Werner reporting.
As schools in the area celebrate their 2024 graduation classes, Sartell St. Stephen's grads have a special distinction. The 2024 class, the first class from Sartell to have spent almost their entire career in person at the new high school. Assistant Principal Nick Peterson says, well, the class of 2024 did some hybrid learning. Most of the year they were in the building, and the students realized the uniqueness of their time in school.
If you ask them to think back to their 9th and 10th grade year, they may remember that, it was some unique times, and they persevered, and now are achieving what we all want, and that's, the graduation on Saturday.
And Peterson says they had about 300 kids graduate this year. Graduation ceremony was Saturday at 7:30 at the high school gym. One Sartell St. Stephen High School student is receiving a national recognition for her artwork. Senior Lydia Holmgren took first place for Minnesota for Wildlife Forever's Art of Conservation's Fish Art Contest for her painting of a sunfish. And her drawing of her great-grandmother recently won the Congressional Art of Competition for District 6. Holmgren says her teacher, Mike Carlson, typically tells her about the different contests, and the Wildlife Forever contest let her recapture a part of her childhood.
Fishing has always been a part of my childhood, and I liked that I was able to connect with my childhood and experience through my art.
Carlson says Holmgren has always excelled with her art.
She stood out right away, and she took several classes, also drawing with Mrs. Phillips and Rickert, probably. Yep, so she's benefited from a number of different teachers. Her drawings are also award-winning. Her painting is amazing. And then she's done a couple independent studies, which is pretty neat, where she actually gets to write her own curriculum.
Holmgren's great-grandmother drawing will be on display in the U.S. Capitol building for a whole year. She says she hopes to enter a songbird contest for her next project. Well, we should know the name of Minnesota's Professional Women's Hockey League championship team later this summer. General Manager Natalie Darwitz says it's not a decision that will be made in St. Paul.
Being under one ownership with all 6 teams that's coming from the league level, the word on the street is sometime in August that the names and logos will be revealed. So we're waiting on just like everyone else.
None of the teams had nicknames during the league's inaugural season. Minnesota beat Boston 3-2 in the PWHL Finals to win the first ever Walter Cup trophy. WJON News Time is coming up on 9:10 at 68. News this hour brought to you by Zablocki Roofing. Your WJON weather eye forecast is on the way next.
WJON radar weather.
For St. Cloud and for Clearwater, becoming clear today, 80 for a high, and southwest wind at 5 to 10. Tonight, partly cloudy, 64 overnight, and southeast wind at 5. Tomorrow, scattered showers and thunderstorms are likely in the afternoon, 95% chance of showers and storms. A half inch of rain maybe tomorrow afternoon, 80 for a high. Winds south of 10 to 15 miles an hour. And the extended forecast Wednesday, a clear sky. Scattered showers and thunderstorms possible. 75 for a high on Wednesday. After that, looks great. Thursday, partly cloudy and 67. And Friday, mainly sunny and 71. WJON News Time's coming up on 9:12 at 68 this morning. For more St. Cloud area news, sports, and weather, download our free WJON app on your smartphone or your tablet. Jim Maurice, WJON.
All right, Jim, what's coming up in the News at Noon program today?
We'll hear from our political analyst, Blois Olson. He'll be on the air with me at 12:20 today. And then we'll run my full interview I did with Linda Allen, the executive director of Quiet Oaks Hospice House, talking about with the Dancing with Our Stars campaign and other things that are happening at Quiet Oaks. We'll have that full conversation coming up at 12:40 today.
Okay, how about 9:30?
Large rubber duck coming to Princeton. We'll tell you about that at the bottom of the hour.
All right, Jim, thank you. It's 9:12. Coming up next on WJON, Health